Everyone talks about AI as if it's smarter than humans. But here's a question nobody asks: can it really understand anything? Can it feel doubt, curiosity, or awe? Today, we're going to explore why speed and calculation don't equal intelligence, and what Richard Feynman would think about this. When people say AI is intelligent, they usually mean it can calculate faster than any human alive. It can analyze enormous amounts of data in seconds. It can detect patterns we might never notice. It can generate answers almost instantly. But speed is not the same as intelligence. In physics, I learned that getting the right answer is not enough. A student can memorize formulas and still fail to understand what they mean. A machine can store every equation ever written. That does not mean it understands the universe those equations describe. Calculation is mechanical. Understanding is conceptual. When you solve a problem in science, the real intelligence appears when you ask, why does this work? If the answer changes slightly, can you adapt? If the assumptions are wrong, can you detect the mistake? True intelligence is flexible. It questions itself. AI does not question itself. It optimizes based on patterns. It predicts what is most likely correct based on previous data. That is powerful, but it is not the same as insight. Insight requires connecting ideas in new ways. It requires intuition built from lived experience. It requires the ability to admit uncertainty. A calculator can multiply numbers perfectly, yet no one calls a calculator intelligent. So when we look at AI, we must be careful. Producing correct outputs does not automatically equal deep comprehension. Real intelligence is not just producing answers, it is knowing what those answers mean and when they might be wrong. A machine learns by detecting patterns. It studies enormous amounts of data and identifies statistical relationships between words, images, or numbers. From those patterns, it predicts what should come next. The result can look remarkably intelligent. But pattern recognition is not the same as meaning. When a human learns a concept, it is not just information stored in memory. It is connected to experience. When you learn the word gravity, you remember dropping an object. You remember the feeling of weight. You connect the idea to the physical world around you. That connection creates understanding. AI does not experience gravity. It does not feel weight. It does not interact with reality. It processes symbols that represent those things, but it never encounters the things themselves. Humans attach emotion, context, and personal memory to knowledge. When we learn about fire, we understand heat, danger, light, and survival. The concept becomes layered with meaning. For machine, fire is a pattern of characters associated with other patterns. In science, meaning matters deeply. An equation is not just symbols on paper. It describes something happening in nature. If you truly understand it, you can imagine the physical process behind it. You can predict how reality will behave under new conditions. AI predicts based on past data. Humans understand by connecting ideas to lived experience in the physical world. That difference may seem subtle, but it is profound. Patterns can imitate meaning. But imitation is not the same as comprehension. Real intelligence begins with doubt. In science, certainty is often the enemy of discovery. When you are too sure you are right, you stop questioning. And the moment you stop questioning, you stop learning. Every major breakthrough in physics came from someone who was uncomfortable with the existing explanation. They noticed something didn't fit. They felt confusion. That confusion became curiosity, and curiosity became investigation. That emotional tension is not weakness. It is the engine of progress. When I worked on difficult problems, I did not begin with confidence. I began with uncertainty. I asked simple questions. I challenged assumptions. I tried to prove myself wrong. That process of doubting, testing, revising is what we call the scientific method. AI does not experience doubt. It does not feel puzzled. It does not wake up wondering if yesterday's conclusion was incomplete. It does not sense intellectual discomfort when data contradicts a belief. It processes inputs and generates outputs according to optimization rules. Humans, on the other hand, are driven by curiosity. We look at the stars and feel awe. We look at a paradox and feel compelled to resolve it. That emotional pull toward understanding is deeply human. Curiosity pushes us beyond patterns. Doubt forces us to refine ideas. Without those forces, knowledge becomes static. A system that only optimizes answers may improve efficiency. But a mind that questions itself reshapes reality, and that self-questioning ability is one of the strongest signs of genuine intelligence. AI is an extraordinary tool. It can process data faster than any human, simulate complex systems, and assist in discoveries that would take decades without it. It can help us understand patterns in nature, predict outcomes, and even generate creative ideas. Its power is undeniable. But power is not the same as understanding. Tools amplify human ability, but they do not replace the human mind. A microscope shows us what we cannot see, yet it does not analyze the cells itself. A telescope reveals distant galaxies, but it does not ponder their meaning. AI, in the same way, extends our reach, but it does not think for itself. intelligence is not measured by output alone. It is measured by awareness, judgment, and the ability to reflect. A human scientist does not just record data. They ask, why does this happen? What does this tell us about the universe? That reflection requires consciousness, self-awareness, and curiosity, qualities no algorithm possesses. The responsibility lies with us, not with the machine. We must remember that technology is a tool, not a mind. If we forget this, we risk accepting answers blindly, assuming understanding where there is only computation. Using AI wisely means leveraging its power while maintaining critical thinking. It means questioning its conclusions, testing its predictions, and connecting its results to the deeper meaning of the world. Ultimately, AI can enhance our intelligence, but it cannot replace it. Real understanding, insight, and awareness come from humans. No machine can feel doubt, wonder, or awe. That is what makes human intelligence unique and irreplaceable. The future will depend on how we wield the tool and whether we continue to think deeply ourselves.